When I first saw Atrioc run the Hitman Trilogy, I was instantly fascinated. I'd never seen a speedrun I wanted to try so badly before. And now, over a year later, with 1,000+ hours of speedrunning this game, I'm still absolutely obsessed. Today, I'll be taking you through every hidden strategy speedrunners use to break the game. This is Trilogy Explained. Before we get into the run, let's cover some of the basics. NPCs that can compromise your identity are called enforcers, and they're marked with dots above their head. To get the highest score, you have to maintain your silent assassin rating, which is shown with a small set of green guns in the bottom left of the HUD. To keep those guns green, there's various things that you have to do, such as not getting caught on camera, not getting compromised or seen performing any illegal actions, no non-target kills, and no bodies found, unless they were killed in an accident. This speedrun is also suit only, meaning that we can't use disguises to blend in. Finally, in Hitman there's 3 difficulties: Casual, Pro, and Master. There are some subtle differences between Master and Pro, but the long and short of it is that Master adds more guards and cameras, as well as a heightened attentiveness to noise and illegal actions for all NPCs. So with all of that out of the way, I can finally show you why I love this run so much. To do this, I'll be using a segmented run that I recorded for each of the 20 levels in Trilogy. In Paris, we'll start off on the red carpet, bringing a breaching charge in a briefcase, a remote demo block, and a silence pistol. We'll need to assassinate 2 targets, Viktor Novikov and Dalia Margolis.
The show is just about to start. This is the red carpet.
After precisely skipping the cutscene for a reason I'll later explain, we're going to perform one of the most ridiculous pieces of tech in the whole run, the bomb launch. The remote breaching charge is a relatively quiet explosive, and it's intended to be a solution to quietly breach a set of locked doors. Interestingly, explosive forces in the game of Hitman will also launch objects, so speedrunners decided that this would be a great tool for launching equipment all the way across the map. I mean, imagine how far this bomb would have gone if I didn't just blow it up. As you could probably guess, the position of the bombs is really important, but the block of C4, like the one we use in Paris, won't go anywhere if we just place it on the ground. But if you just try to drop the bomb, it'll bounce in an unpredictable direction. For these reasons, it seemed like there would never be a bomb launch strat that would work for Trilogy, until players realized that items dropped from 47's right hand will fall from the height of his hand. Since his hand moves up and down during his walk cycle, we can use this to drop the bomb with the least amount of height, minimizing the bounce and the resultant inconsistency. It's also incredibly lucky that the perfect distance to space out the breaching charge and bomb is about 1 cycle of 47's walking animation. After unpacking the breaching charge, we'll set up a bomb launch and blow up the charge, sending the bomb flying for 13 seconds of airtime all the way to the other side of the map, where it will eventually come to rest on the roof right above Dalia, causing a chandelier to squish her when we blow it up. We'll now toss our briefcase to move Viktor's guard out from under this chandelier before detonating the bomb, eliminating Dalia Margolis. After watching to make sure Viktor's guard is out of the way, we snuggle ourselves into this corner, getting 1 chance to bring down the chandelier. This strat is ridiculous, but what's most crazy to me is that it's more consistent than other strategies that don't involve a bomb launch. The old Paris from the last video is really cool and all, but you had to watch the whole cutscene, and it was slow, and it was more inconsistent, and it sucked, and I hate it even thinking about it. Sorry about that. Now we're headed to Sapienza, where we'll start in the main square tower and bring along a Viper, some blueberry muffins, and a Calmer. Here, we'll be eliminating Silvio Caruso and Francesca DeSantis, while also destroying a deadly virus. We're going to use several of something called a panic shot, which I'll explain more about later. We start off by fast unpacking our sniper and non-lethally shooting these 4 NPCs. These are all technically panic shots, but they're used to achieve different purposes. The first shot puts Francesca into lockdown, while causing the guard we shot to stay behind. The second set of NPCs causes her to take a specific route to her safe place. Finally, the shot on the guards at the gate will allow us to get by them later. In the meantime, we'll unlock this door with our sniper and disable all security cameras. Now, you're ready to see the trick that made me start doing these runs in the first place. This is the particle boost. 47, despite being genetically engineered in a test tube, is not exactly the most agile character you'll ever control. I mean, the guy jogs like he's scared of tearing a hammy, and he literally can't jump. Like, at all. Sure, he can vault over some ledges and climb up some pipes, but if you put as much as a watering can in his way, he's gonna have to go around. Thankfully, speedrunners were able to find a way to get 47 some air despite his credit card vertical. By walking on top of the broken particles of certain objects, 47 can ride them into places he should never actually be. Whether it's climbing up a couch, making our way over the rail of a stairway, or even blasting ourselves through the roof with an explosion. What's also great is that the game doesn't expect us to be in these places, so when we fall back down to the earth, we don't take any damage. Particle skips are a lot of fun, and they're a great way to save time. As in Sapienza, I could spend 15 seconds going down all these stairs, or I could just use a muffin to head straight down. As we make our way past the guards we panicked earlier, the keenest amongst you may notice that it sounds like we're getting shot at. What's actually happening is they're blindly shooting at where we first took those sniper shots from. As strangely enough, the only one who's actually seen us is Francesca, so when we drop the chandelier on her, our red guns go back to green. We'll then shoot this guard in the hand and immediately run past him, allowing us to get by without getting compromised. This is called a panic shot, and it's how we got past those guards at the gate earlier. The mechanics of how it works are pretty interesting, but I'll have to wait until later to explain. For now, we'll shoot this statue to distract Silvio's golf instructor, moving him away from Silvio. After stealing some propane, we'll tranquilize this guard and make our way over to the statue, where we toss up the propane and shoot it as soon as it hits the ground, eliminating Silvio with an accidental explosion. Right away, we hit a muffin skip and pull out our sniper, no scoping, dropping it, and picking it up again in order to boost our way down the face. When we walk off the cliff, we have to make sure not to go too far, as 47 never took swimming lessons. Once we carefully navigate this invisible floor, we'll shoot the virus and take the seaplane exit, beating the whole mission in just 1 minute and 22 seconds. While this route is really cool, it's the bane of my existence in Trilogy runs due to how often it fails. This is probably a good time to mention that there's a ton of different variations for each of these runs, and the ones I prefer aren't necessarily the best. You could even go with completely different strats, like there's a faster strat for every single level in this run. But if you want to get to the last level more than once a year, you're gonna need to learn how to balance speed and consistency. If you're interested in learning this speedrun or other speedruns within Hitman, I'd recommend joining my Discord. But for now, on to Marrakesh, where we have to assassinate Reza Zaydan and Klaus Strandberg. We'll start off with some pistol shots to panic the NPCs down in the square. Next, we'll pull out our violin and do a particle boost to get out of bounds. Next, we'll fire some more panic shots, letting us move through the square with our sniper rifle without getting compromised. After praying that the nearby NPCs are all properly panicked, we're going to fast unpack our sniper and take a shot all the way across the marketplace. As long as the bullet impact isn't too close to him, he won't go into lockdown, but instead will just go, and head over to get a closer look. Next, we'll use our sniper to search for one of the toughest angles in the game, taking a single shot on this cardboard box, followed up by another shot on the wall up and to the left of Klaus's head. These shots are really hard to pull off and hit in timing, but if you do them right, you can eliminate Klaus with a groin shot and leave his guards none the wiser. Once we get the window back into view, we take out the investigating Reza and head towards the exit, completing one of the most ridiculously quick and difficult runs of the trilogy. With that toughie out of the way, we're headed to one of the easier routes in Trilogy, where we'll bring along a ghost, shaman powder, and a Krugermeyer. For this mission, we're tasked with eliminating 2 targets, Jordan Cross and Ken Morgan.
Welcome to Bangkok, 47. Ken Morgan has...
While Diana tells us about our targets, I'll explain a little more about why we wait during cutscenes at all. When we start playing cutscenes, the NPCs in a level start going about their predetermined actions. With strategies that require NPCs to be in specific places or to be doing specific things, we always watch as much cutscene as possible. This is because the run is based on in-game time, which only starts once the cutscene is over. We start off by taking a pistol shot into this wall, distracting this NPC and allowing us to pull out our sniper. If he starts off facing you, you can simply pull out your pistol, put it away, and pull it out again. We'll wait for Jordan to turn around before taking 2 shots on this wall and 2 shots on this wall. This puts Jordan into something called the soft lockdown, where he heads to a safe location, but he isn't accompanied by any of his guards. Regardless of how quickly we're able to take out Jordan, we have to wait until the clock hits 20 to drop the chandelier on Ken.
Both targets down.
With
Now
Jordan
head towards
hidden
the
out of the
exit.
way, we won't have to worry about his body being found, at least for now. Now we'll bump this guard so he doesn't see us trespass and pull out some shaman powder, allowing us to take out these 2 guards and the camera in one quick throw. While Colorado is one of the more difficult casual missions in my opinion, the Trilogy speedrun route is a piece of cake. All we have to do is bring along a ghost or equivalent sniper. Here we'll have to take out 4 targets: Sean Rose, Penelope Graves, Ezra Berg,
Welcome
and
to
Maya
Colorado,
Pavarti.
47.
Just as we did in Bangkok, we're going to watch the entire cutscene, so I took the liberty of fast forwarding it for you. We're gonna start off with a fast unpack of our sniper, which is achieved simply by dropping the briefcase, instantly unpacking, and hitting crouch the moment we unpack our sniper. After taking a single shot on the car, we'll head into the compound to set up one of the easiest sniper lineups in the whole trilogy, where we line up this plank with the front door handles, and use the position of the shovel to make sure we're in the right spot. If we aim between the slats of the fence right below the barbed wire, we can hit the lawnmower with a well-placed sniper shot, causing it to start leaking gas fumes. We'll then pay attention to the clock to make sure we hit the chandelier as soon as the clock hits 25. While we wait for our targets to get into position, we're gonna muck around for a bit. Next we'll be using something called a triple panic shot. When an NPC notices 3 bullet impacts near them, but doesn't see you in the immediate vicinity those shots were taken from, they'll be blind to you and almost everything else as they beeline their way towards the source of the shots. As we make our way to the last sniper vantage point of the level, Ezra Berg lights up a cigarette, igniting the fumes from the lawnmower and killing himself in an accidental explosion. Next we'll wait around a little longer, waiting for our targets to get into position. We're going to be waiting until we see Maya directly under the hay bale. After taking out Maya, we wait until the clock hits 1:13 to shoot the car, taking out Sean Rose before Diana can even announce his death. With Colorado complete, we're headed into the final level of Season 1, Hokkaido, Japan, where we'll start in the restaurant and bring along a magnesium pouch, explosive baseball, and matador. Now, other runners will say that you should bring along a silenced full-auto pistol for a more consistent run, but I would argue that the matador, looks cooler, so... Our first target, Eric Soders, is one of the most unique in the trilogy, as no matter what happens to him, his body cannot get found. This, combined with the fact that he has very little health, allows us to simply throw an explosive at the wall of his operating room, making Soders probably the easiest kill in the whole trilogy.
Soda's down. To be honest, I'm not sure what to feel about this one. Well, that's fair
If your movement has been good enough, you'll make it down this hallway in time to set up your kill on Yuki. To make this work, your positioning and timing are gonna have to be near perfect. Standing too far forward or leaving too early will cause her guards to see you, but leaving too late or standing too far back will result in her body getting found before you exit. Time it right, however, and you can throw the magnesium powder out the door to blind all of her guards, leaving the mission before they even see her body. Completing Season 1 in just 5 minutes and 19 seconds. For the first level of Season 2, we go to Hawke's Bay, starting in the office with a gold baller, lethal syringe, and calmer. This is a good time to note that when I interact with something, in my case using G such as with mission exits, I mash the inventory button to skip the period that I would normally have to wait. Since inventory and G also unpacks our item, We're going to do that immediately so that we can more quickly interact with the painting. After we gain access to the safe room, we're going to pick up a USB dongle and take out the security cameras. Now, in order to make our escape, we're going to tranquilize Orson and Alma's guard, allowing us to eliminate her with a lethal poison. We also don't need to worry about her body being found here, as lethal poisoning counts as an accident. Now, with a little bit of running to do as we make our way towards the exit, I'll try my best to explain how a panic shot works. So basically, when you shoot an NPC, the game creates a 3D cone around the space where the shot was taken from. If you're able to get outside of the cone before you get spotted by the NPCs, they won't know it was you who shot them, but since they're in such a panic, they won't notice you doing things like trespassing, carrying illegal items, etc. You can see this on display here as these poor dudes try to find me. Since the mercs have discovered our boat, we'll shoot a gas tank in the back of this truck to cause an explosion and draw them away. Since one of the guards wants to stay behind at the boat, we take one final panic shot to draw him away, so we can simply run to the exit right in front of them. Once again, I have to note that these panic shots only work in very specific conditions. So although the AI looks really dumb here, I actually gotta give credit to IOI for how robust and complex their AI system is normally. Our next stop takes us to everyone's favorite gator-infested panhandle, where we'll bring a ghost sniper rifle and the Seeker. Here we'll be taking out Robert and Sierra Knox. Once again, we're going to have to wait the entire cutscene, so I'll go ahead and fast forward it for you. After waiting for the red car to turn its light on, we're going to Seeker this NPC, allowing us to do some sniping later without getting spotted. We're now going to take a ridiculous shot, sniping Sierra Knox through a crowd of NPCs. The bullet passes through this wall in the parking garage that doesn't actually load in most of the time as a collision object, causing her car to crash once it re-enters the visible section of the track. We'll now line up a shot on a windowsill, where we'll shoot the windowsill twice as soon as the clock hits 14. This will cause Robert's guard to stop and investigate, leaving Rob to walk down the hallway by himself. With one more distraction shot, we'll draw him into the open and allow us to take him out with a single headshot. With his body lying out in the open, we only have a few seconds to exit before his body gets found. But do it right, and you'll clear one of the largest levels in the entire trilogy in just 25 seconds. Next, we're headed to Santa Fortuna, Colombia. Our task is to eliminate Rico Delgado, Jorge Franco, and Andrea Martinez. We'll start off by taking a precise pistol shot by Andrea, and one more on this wall to stop the shopkeeper from seeing us. We'll then fast unpack our sniper and take out the security camera before eliminating Andrea with the pot. With Martinez out of the way, we move on to infiltrating Rico's compound, shooting open the door and performing a panic shot on this guard, allowing us to comically walk past like 7 enforcers hiding behind this gate. In order to set up the Rico kill, we're first going to take a shot on the wall to distract a couple guards that are nearby. We'll then eliminate Rico just as he walks around the corner of the building, hiding his body barely out of sight of all of these guards. Next, we'll perform a panic shot and take out this camera before doing a double shot on this wall. Causing all of this chaos will panic enough guards such that they will not go over to where Rico's body is, allowing it to stay hidden until we make our escape. Next, we'll do a triple shot to make our way past these guards. To set up the kill on Jorge, we need to find this angle as fast as possible, shooting the air conditioning unit and the door. We'll then move on to perform another panic shot on one of these gardeners, allowing us to make our way through the compound. By shooting the air conditioning unit, we caused an NPC by Jorge to go investigate, while Jorge himself will go to check out the door. By taking him out with a headshot, we can hide him away in the shack where he won't actually get found. Finally, we perform a panic shot on one of his guards, which allows us to make our way past these NPCs without getting compromised. We now come to one of the biggest hurdles in the run, Mumbai, where we'll bring along a Viper sniper rifle, the gold brick proximity explosive, and a pistol. We're going to need to take out Vanya Shah and Dawood Rangan, but we'll also need to eliminate a third target called the Maelstrom, which unlike others is not outlined in red in your instinct vision. I used to use a much slower strat than this, but with much higher standards for Trilogy runs, I'm now forced to use this version, known as Fast Mumbai, or F-Mumbai. We're first going to take out our pistol and shoot 2 shots, blowing up a scooter and eliminating the Maelstrom in 4 seconds. Now we're going to unpack our sniper and take 2 specific shots inside the compound of Vanya Shah. I'll explain more about those later, but for now, we're going to fast repack our sniper and hit the road. In order to save a very minute amount of time on stairs, you can crouch and stand up at specific times. Now those 2 shots I took before will distract a guy that would normally have a conversation with Vanya. After using our pistol to turn these guards around and make it so they don't see us sniping, we'll take out Vanya, who is guaranteed to stand up at 32 seconds, since she isn't having the conversation. By waiting until she takes 2 steps before scoping in and taking out the chandelier, you'll have a pretty consistent setup to take out Vanya Shah. If you're wondering why the 2 NPCs I just walked past haven't reported me, it's because they're fake NPCs. Most crowds are full of these, and you can tell if they're fake because they won't have an outline when you're in instinct vision. They can't witness or report any of your crimes, but if you hit them with a tranq, they will die on the spot. After a single distraction shot, we'll pull out the snail that makes people sleep. After throwing it into this crowd, we'll move to this spot and fast unpack our sniper, waiting until they pass out to take 3 specific distraction shots, misdirecting the attention of the guards below as we snipe Dawood off of the edge such that he tumbles through the air into a giant pit of cement. Now, this kill is so hard. You'll often get hunted from across the map, but if you do everything right and get lucky, you can beat Mumbai in just 1 minute and 20 seconds, often even less. This has gotta be one of the most insane routes in Trilogy, and the fact that we can even get it to work half the time is ridiculous to me. After that very stressful experience in Mumbai, we'll head to Whittleton for one of the most relaxed routes in the run. We're going to bring along a ghost, a micro taser, and a calmer. Our task is to eliminate Janus, Nolan Cassidy, and collect 3 pieces of intel. After learning a bit more about the neighborhood, we're going to wait until we see the Copium Man to skip the cutscene. We'll now make our way to some leaves in the middle of the road and fast unpack our sniper, shooting Janus's oxygen tank twice, causing it to explode and eliminating Janus in an accidental explosion. With our first target out of the way, we're now going to set up our second assassination by simply hiding a micro taser in the mailbox of Nolan Cassidy and setting it off. Now we'll turn our attention to finding the clues, and we'll start off by tranquilizing both of these guards, finding the first clue and a shotgun. As we make our way to James Batty's house, Nolan Cassidy is going to open up his mailbox and die of an accidental electrocution. We'll use the shotgun to blow open the door, dropping it immediately before picking up our second clue and a shovel. The nearby NPC James will be panicked, but since we dropped the shotgun immediately, he won't know it was us and will simply run off to report the shot. We'll then use the shovel to dig up our final clue, hitting space twice in order to rotate the camera to keep an eye on that guard. Now that we've collected our final clue, we just gotta sneak through these bushes and make our way to the exit.
And that is Nolan Cassidy taken care of. Both targets are confirmed killed.
In the Isle of Sigale, we'll change our starting location to the chapel, while bringing along a Viper, 3 blueberry muffins, and a Seeker. Here we have to eliminate 2 targets, Zoe and Sophia Washington. We start by waiting the entire cutscene, wiggling our mouse and waiting until our camera moves. We'll immediately exit our position and fast unpack our sniper, taking 1 shot to light the ceremonial fire and send Zoe Washington heading towards the effigy. We'll then use a muffin skip to get out of bounds and make our way onto this roof. We're going to use our Seeker to make 2 guards sick, causing them to leave out from under the chandelier. We'll then shoot our sniper once on the wall, distracting a 3rd guard out from under the chandelier. After making our way into this corner, we're going to wait until Sophia is directly facing us and takes her 2nd step, with her right foot, before shooting these 2 shots through the window. What these shots will do is put Sophia into a state of lockdown, while also causing one of her guards to stay behind. Since one of the guards in this room will stop investigating, we'll throw a muffin to regain his interest and keep him out from under the chandelier. Often when Zoe is making her way to the effigy, she will have a guard in front of her. Thankfully, we can throw our last muffin to stop the guard in his place, allowing Sophia to continue walking under the chandelier, which we happily drop on her for an easy accident kill. With Zoe out of the way, we drop another chandelier on Sophia, eliminating her despite being surrounded by guards. To set up our escape, we'll take a distraction shot on that back wall before shooting a panic shot onto the hand of this guard, panicking all nearby NPCs and allowing us to make our way to the exit uncompromised. In New York, we're going to stash one of our calmers in the executive floor pickup, while bringing along the other in a briefcase. We'll also bring the Goldberg proximity explosive and a gold baller. Our goal for this mission is to eliminate Athena Savalas while also collecting several data discs. To save time, we're going to watch the entire cutscene, so once again, I'll be fast forwarding it for you. We start off by heading over to this guard's post, where we sneakily make our way past him just by walking far enough away. Then we'll tranquilize this guy and take our first data disc, throwing a briefcase to make sure everyone sees his body, allowing us to sneak upstairs. Next we'll pull out our pistol and shoot a pane of glass on the far opposite side of the room. I'm going to take this time to briefly explain why I always go to the right before accessing my inventory. This is because normally accessing your inventory causes 47 to stop running, but if you put in a right or left input right before you access it, 47 won't break his stride. Once we make sure that this guard has stopped investigating, we'll take out the security camera and head upstairs, taking out this camera at the perfect time so that this NPC is standing outside for us to trank him. We'll then shoot 2 distraction shots to turn the attention of the front desk receptionist and this guard. Not only does tranquilizing that NPC allow us to steal his data disk, but it also blinds any NPCs who see him to our presence, as we're currently trespassing. Next, we'll leave our snail in here to take out the receptionist and pick up our stashed commer, stopping to reload our empty commer so that they each have 1 shot. Now all you gotta do is take out the security camera, tranquilize 2 of the guards, and knock out the 3rd one once the 2nd one is passed out. If you kill Athena where she's standing, sometimes the data disk won't be accessible, so to prevent this, we shoot her in the leg and get her to flip away from the chair. Some of you may have noticed that we actually have yellow guns, as we were recorded by a security camera. So after we've picked up the final data disk, we'll go into this room where we'll delete all the recordings and pick up a key for the exit in the basement. This is a good time for me to mention that there's so many things that can go wrong on every single one of these runs, especially longer ones like New York. For example, that NPC I tranquilized earlier can sometimes fall back behind the door they just walked through, making it impossible for the guard to see them and resulting in you being compromised. Little things like this can happen at every step of the run. If you're interested in seeing how Trilogy runs play out live, come check me out at twitch.tv/Aspecticor. Link in the description down below. Alright, no more plugs, I promise. Plus, we've got assassinations to do, such as the ones in Haven Island, where we'll start at the resort pool area with a Viper, Lethal Syringe, and Kruger. This time, we've got 3 targets: Tyson Williams, Stephen Bradley, and Ludmilla Vetrova. Haven is a particularly deadly map for casual play and speedruns because the view cones of NPCs are huge. In addition to this, certain walls don't even work, so this place is treacherous to say the least. On our way to the gym, we're going to shoot this couch to move a guard out of the way for a later shot. Once we're in the gym, we'll use our pistol to distract some people doing Zumba before poisoning Bradley. With Steve out of the way, we can now make our way to our first sniper vantage point, where we're going to take 2 extremely precise shots. By using a couple plants to line them up right, we'll take 2 shots, about 12 seconds apart, that will cause Tyson's guards to investigate, leaving him alone and vulnerable. If you listen carefully, you can hear the tiny whooshing sound of someone's suspicion meter filling up. This is actually happening from an NPC who's like 100 meters away from us. It's ridiculous. And also what you expect from Haven at this point. But anyways, I'm done being salty. Now let's go set up that Ludmilla kill. We need to head towards the dock, but as we do this, Tyson will be making his way towards the theater room, while his guards that would normally be with him will stay outside. Now we're gonna fast unpack our sniper and throw our briefcase along this specific arc. You want to see the guard notice the briefcase first, followed by Ludmilla. If you do this correctly, you'll tend to hear a "okay" or "huh" coming from the guard. This will cause Ludmilla to head into the water, which will allow us to take her out later. For now, we're going to line up our left shoulder with this post and shoot above Tyson's head. What we're actually doing here is ridiculous. All the way across the map, Tyson is sitting inside his theater room. Since we've distracted his guards outside, no one is with him when we cause him to stand up and take him out with the well-placed headshot. Now that we've taken out Tyson, we simply have to wait for Ludmilla to head into the water after that briefcase we tossed. By hitting her with a non-lethal shot from our sniper, we can knock her over into the water and drown her. Just pretend that I didn't miss that first shot. Anyways, with all of that done, you can get out of Haven in about 1:40, bringing us to Season 3 with a total time of just 16 minutes. For the first level of Season 3, we're going to bring along a magnesium pouch and a gold baller. We're going to be assassinating 2 targets, Carl Ingram and Marcus Stuyvesant. This is Dubai. After waiting out the entire cutscene, we'll make our way up these stairs, past this guard, and over to this pipe. This is one of those blink and you miss it strats, so I'll explain a little bit in advance. We're going to be dispatching Carl Ingram with a single headshot before shooting a piece of metal to distract one of his guards. We'll then throw a bag of magnesium powder into the room where Marcus Stuyvesant is, blinding his guards and allowing us to execute him and leave without them ever finding out. For the second level of Season 3, we end up in Dartmoor, where we'll start off behind the mansion. We'll bring along a Calmer, Krugermeyer, and a crystal ball. Our job is to assassinate Alexa Carlisle. Instead of grabbing the case file, we're going to grab 2 pieces of intel, which will allow us to complete the objective. After waiting out the entire cutscene, we'll use our Kruger to perform a panic shot on this guard, allowing us to make our way through the courtyard. We'll then use our pistol once again to perform several distraction shots, letting us make our way inside the mansion. We'll use our pistol to shoot this lamp and turn everyone's attention, before tranquilizing this butler to steal the first piece of intel. If we make it through this doorway at 35 seconds, it means we can take a single shot to stop Alexa's guards before taking the chandelier shot from the other side of the hall. We'll then reload our tranquilizer and use it to knock out this maid. We do still need to complete our intel objective, so we'll take out this NPC to grab the second piece of intel, leaving us with nothing left to do but to find the exit. With a couple well-placed distraction shots and the hearse keys in our hand, we're finally ready to exit the level. Next, we're headed to a location I find terrifying. Not for the assassins hunting us down, but for the social interaction I would have to experience. This is Berlin. We're going to stash a ghost sniper rifle or equivalent in the staff chillout room, while also bringing along a Lil Flashy and a crystal ball. In Berlin, we're tasked with eliminating 5 of the ICA agents who have come to hunt us down. We'll wait until 47 takes 3.5 steps before skipping the cutscene. We're going to immediately drop and trigger Mr. Flashy, allowing us to get past this guard without getting frisked. Now we just have to head over to where we stashed our sniper. Since we have a little bit of a run, this is a good time for me to explain that 47 is not allowed to be carrying certain objects, such as a sniper rifle, like you're about to see. But if you drop the illegal object and pick it up rapidly, you can prevent NPCs from filling up their suspicion meter and compromising you. After getting our first kill, we're going to head outside and take a distraction shot for later, before performing the drop and pickup trick to make our way through the courtyard and taking out this guard, sending his body into the water with a single well-placed sniper shot. After shooting another distraction shot, we'll use the drop and pickup trick again to make our way over to this side of the courtyard, knocking out this guy so we can steal the key to his moped. We'll then make use of the distraction shot we set up before and take out our third guard. Finally, we head out back and take 2 more sniper shots to finish up our assassinations, leaving this mission in under a minute. And with that, we only have 3 levels left in the whole trilogy. In Chongqing, we're gonna start off on the balcony with a ghost, blueberry muffin, and a calmer. Here, we need to assassinate 2 targets, Hush and Imogen Royce. After waiting a while through the cutscene, we're going to shoot a single drone, causing Hush and Imogen to both set off on a predetermined course. Once we've done this, we'll start making our way to the upstairs balcony. Something to note is that when you knock out an NPC with a normal method, if their body is found, you will lose Silent Assassin. When the body of a tranquilized NPC is found, not only do we keep our green guns, but we can use the momentary panic it instills as cover for when we're trespassing. Once we've made it up here, we're going to wait until Hush is in a specific spot to take a single shot on the wall, putting him into a state of lockdown and causing him to run out to the balcony. With a well-placed sniper shot, we can take him out and hide his body, taking 3 more shots inside to ensure that the scientist and bodyguard do not go out onto the balcony. With Hush's kill complete, we can now move on to Imogen Royce, lining up a specific window with this railing and taking 2 shots as soon as she passes a certain point, causing the guards behind her to stay behind. Finally, we can take her out with a single shot through the window and make our escape. If you're lucky and you do a good setup, you can use a muffin to boost onto this railing, allowing us to trank one of the guards before dropping our trank and making our way to the exit. For Trilogy's penultimate level, we're going to start off in the shrine, while stashing an explosive baseball and bringing along a ghost, RFID triggered explosive, and a Kruger. Here, we're going to be assassinating 2 targets, Dawn Yates and Tamara Vidal. Immediately after we spawn, we're going to skip the cutscene and pick up the explosive, throwing it down the cliff and causing all the guards above us to go over to the edge and check it out. This will allow us to make it over to Dawn's house with our sniper in hand without any problems. After a fast unpack, we're going to make our way over this ledge and towards Dawn's house, where we'll use our sniper to unlock the door. Then we'll set up a coin by this table for Dawn to discover, which happens to be right underneath the chandelier. After dropping an explosive on the carpet, we're going to take 3 very specific shots to panic Tamara Vidal into a lockdown and remove the NPCs from around that car. After taking our 3rd shot, we're going to use our sniper to blow up the bomb and send the chandelier falling onto Donald. We'll then pick up his car keys and make our way outside, shooting the car twice to take out Tamara in an accidental explosion. Finally, we'll use our Kruger to panic these two NPCs, allowing us to run straight over to Dawn's car and exit the mission. With 19 levels completed, there's only one left to go. So ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, I proudly present to you the speedrun for the last level in the trilogy, the Carpathian Mountains, or as most people call it, Train. Not only is this the most linear level of the trilogy, it's also the longest, meaning that if you reset, which you have a highest chance to do at the last trick of the run, you're going to add at least 2 minutes, which, considering some levels take 25 seconds, is quite a long time to be adding with a single reset. After panicking this guard with some gunshots, we'll make our way out the window and onto the top of the train. I should mention that you should probably try and pick up some ammo when you grab your gun, but you can still make it otherwise. You can even do the strat with the shotgun if you really mess it up. However, as someone who has learned this lesson through pain, I would definitely recommend, if you're going to run Trilogy, the train is one of your best routes. After going back inside, we'll sneak behind the bar and stay as far to the right while opening the door as possible, only going through once it's fully open and making sure to close it behind us. We'll then take some panic shots and wait just long enough before running through the hallway so that we don't get compromised. We need to run through these doors quickly and make sure to close this one behind us before performing another panic shot on this guard, firing off enough shots into his thigh so that he falls over. We'll pick up some much needed ammo and perform a panic shot on this guard, making sure to pick up the fuse cell and the screwdriver for later. And now finally, we're in the home stretch of our Trilogy run. We're going to drop down and use the fuse cell to blind this entire cart of guards, making sure to pick up the fuse cell as quickly as possible, otherwise it'll burn out and you'll have to reset train. Next, we're going to pick up a crowbar and position ourselves very precisely along this box, throwing our screwdriver just as the guard begins his salute. After picking up another crowbar, we'll perform another flash with the fuse cell, making our way past these guards. This version of train leaves you with almost no room for error, as you need to be stepping off the back of this tank by 2:08 at the latest. We also pull out our crowbar right as we walk off the end of the tank, allowing us to skip the jump down animation. If you've made it here fast enough, you'll be able to knock out this guard and stash his body away in time. And now, there's only one trick left in the run. 4 sets of simple panic shots through this window. If you made it this far into the video, I'd just like to say thanks. Not only do I love doing these runs, but making videos about it has been really fun, and to see your guys' positive feedback means a lot. If you enjoyed this content, consider subbing to the channel, dropping a like, or maybe even sharing this video to someone you think will enjoy it. If you're interested in speedrunning, or you want to know how I got all the items and have no challenges, check out the links in the description below. But until I see you next time, I've been Aspecticor, and thank you for watching.